Welcome back, everyone. It's Jennifer Clark. So happy to do another Gen Zen episode for you. Today's Tuesday, December 13th, 2017, and a huge snowstorm in the O-Town. Believe it or not, I was in Almont doing a bit of a look-see at the new Arboretum out there. I lived in Ottawa all my life and never knew that this place existed. Apparently, it just is 3 years old. Check it out. It's an entirely greenhouse event space. They do vegan yoga retreats. They do vegan dinners. They do New Year's Eve. Beautiful space to do a photo shoot. I actually was doing a little impromptu photo shoot myself with some friends, so had some fun there. But in a snowstorm, had to boot it back to Ottawa to do this feed. And thank you so much for delaying it a bit because I was late in the traffic. So thanks to Rebecca Happy, owner of the Ottawa BuzzTV channel, for holding space for us today. So Gen Zen TV is really a short and sweet soulful solutions for everyday living. They're question and answers. I give the answers, you give the questions. And it was sort of a byproduct of my TV show on Rogers called Gen Zen. So what I do is I put it out there to you guys on Facebook saying, hey, hit me up with your questions. Let me see if I can get you an answer. And we share it here on air. Last week, we had some wonderful feedback from people who were actually listening to the replay. Weren't able to listen to the real sort of the live show, but were able to hit us up on the replay and actually felt that I was answering their question, even though I wasn't. So here's the benefit of tuning into other people's problems. This is why Dr. Phil is so successful, Oprah, and all those talk and TV shows. You actually hear other people's themes in your own life, and then if they resonate, you can actually extrapolate a lot of the answers and suggestions. If they work for you, check them out because they might be something that you need to tweak and move yourself along in your own life. So even though your question may not be answered on the show, please check in, listen to see if anyone has a similar theme or problem you're working through. So today we've got Kate and Laurie. Kate and Laurie had emailed me a while ago, and we were going to be answering their questions because they're really thematic. So now Laurie's actually tapping into questions we already answered on last week's show. And what's interesting is Laurie listened to last week's show and felt she was being talked to, emailed me and said, you know, can you please help me out? So Laurie's in a long-term marriage, a mature woman with a mature family, but feeling that she's growing spiritually and her husband isn't. Despite asking him to grow with her or sort of learn or evolve, she's sort of done the work and he hasn't, and what do you do? Again, on last week's show, I really recommended that everyone work on themselves first. You really don't leave a relationship, especially significant relationships like a long-term marriage, with family, with assets, with history, with extended family involved, children, grandchildren, without really making sure you measured twice, cut once. So Laura's in a position where she thinks she's ready. She thinks she's at that end game. She's measured twice, cut once, and sort of starting to realize, you know what, this ain't working for me anymore. And so she's looking to me to say, you know, how can I help? Is there any answers from her own guides and angels or her own higher self about the situation? So let me just always say, I'm not an enlightened being. I cannot tell anyone what to do. This is suggestions only, and I want you to hear it from a place of you having to take responsibility for your own lives. Don't do what I say because I say so. I'm a hot mess at times, so please, you know, do your due diligence, think for yourself, feel it in within to see if it resonates with you. So Laurie, my sense is you are at the end game. You are approaching the end of a road with this relationship. So I don't think that's a surprise to you. I think it's actually been the last 5 years is how I see the graph that they're showing me. But what I really would like you to do is continue first working on yourself, really making sure that the problem isn't you. Because once you leave this person, you're the problem. It's going to follow you along to the next person. And that's how you create a pattern and some karma and a crap load of problems. So before you really cut, make sure that you've done everything you can to forgive, heal, take your part of the responsibility, send love, and be loving and kind to your partner while he's stuck in the mud or stuck doing whatever he wants to do. So a lot of relationships are growing apart. I mean, this is part of life. I'm not sure if every one person is supposed to be with one person the rest of their lives. I don't know. I mean, lucky ones get it, some don't. Some get it on the second time, some get it on the third or fourth try. We all get soulmates, multiple soulmates. So here's the good news about this whole concept about Hallmark and soulmates. There are many. There aren't just one. You can be in love with more than one person for different reasons at the same time. Now, morality, laws, religions tell us this is not always, kosher. This is not cool. And depending on what kind of relationship you're in, if you're monogamous, definitely not cool. So it really depends on what kind of fluidity you have in your relationships, what boundaries, what agreements you have. Having said that, I do think that this man came into your life for a good reason. I do think that he is always going to be one of your soulmates. But in terms of a romantic, passionate connection, my sense is, yeah, you're right. That is the frequency is lower. He doesn't want to change. Bless his heart. He has the right not to change. So here's the thing. People have the right not to change. It's a free will universe. But you also have the right to do something about it. Whether you stay and accept it, that's a choice. Or whether you change yourself and accept it and see if that can mitigate any of the pain you're having, or go and be on your own. But here's the thing. A lot of people thinking flipping the switch and changing underwear and changing the girlfriend, changing the boyfriend, changing the partner is going to make everything okay. I have so many clients in this space and really wondering why things haven't changed or gotten better. Well, it's because they haven't healed the problem. They haven't healed themselves. They haven't done the work. So Byron Katie talks about the work. Debbie Ford talks about shadow work. Every shaman, every really transpersonal healer is talking about do the work. Deal with your own stuff, your own shadow, your own shit before you project it on someone else's. So in a long-term marriage, you've sort of inherited his, he's inherited yours, and you've kind of grown together, whether it's left, right, straight, crooked, however you're growing and going, you're making it happen. So before you really go to the lawyer and start looking at assets and talking to kids and, separating things, there's a cost. There's a cost to divorce. There's a cost to staying, and there's a cost to leaving. And I really, really want you to run the numbers. First, financial numbers. Go to a mediator, find out how much it's going to cost you. Cost him, cost the family, your debts. Simple math in Canada. Having said that, it is painful. You may not live the quality of life you get to. You may not get to see your kids on Christmas. You may not get to have the family hallmark that you think because you're sharing some asset or some resource, whether it's the dog, the cat, the cottage, the boat, the kids, the grandkids. So it's not going to necessarily be perfect on the other side of it until you're okay with being alone and being free. So this is where I really want to talk to everyone who's trying to get the fuck out of something that's not working. It is lonely on the other side until you love yourself enough to be alone. You're not going to necessarily find someone right away. You can. Tinder, it's there. Swipe left, swipe right, whatever one you want to swipe. It doesn't mean it's going to make it better. It doesn't mean you're going to feel better. So before you book it, take off, bury the hatchet in his back, go to a lawyer, go to a mediator, find out what the financial, physical costs are. Then think about your family being separate. There's an emotional cost that actually is more important to me than a financial cost is, will you be able to survive and live through the separated family? Will any minors be able to survive and live through that as well? In your case, you indicated your kids are adults, so this may be not your problem, but for anyone else who's listening who has minor children, that also has to be a factor to be kind of contemplated. I'm not saying you stay because of the kids, I'm saying you factor in the kids. So at the other end of it, Laurie, are you going to be able to be alone in your apartment when there's nobody there? First of all, are you going to be able to live in an apartment? Maybe you live in a big house and now you have to live in an apartment. Figure out what your life is going to look like on the other end way before you get there. Again, assuming all things are equal and that the answer is yes, 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 my sense is the next 4 months. And my sense is good time to have a discussion with your partner would be around April or May. Springtime, I have a feeling you're going to get the itch, Laurie. You're going to want to sort of talk about, friend, love you, thanks for the kids and the grandkids, but I'm not happy anymore, so it might be an option for us to look at what's our exit strategy. So talk about exit strategy. Is this going to be a surprise to this guy, or is this going to be something he's well aware of? My sense is this guy is not going to be expecting an exit strategy conversation. So my sense is the guy knows that maybe things aren't great, but he doesn't think they're that bad. So I really want you to have open communications with him. Right before Christmas is not a bad idea. Not at Christmas, obviously. Don't create more drama for anybody, but certainly around the Christmas time is a good time to reflect on the year end. So have a conversation, see where he's at. Take a temperature test. Does he really get how unhappy you are? Does he really get that you're ready to leave? Then in the new year, quietly, privately, gather your data about your assets, your debts, your family income, your family whatever. Go talk to someone in the professional field to see what is the scope of your risk, to do a risk assessment about divorce. If you can take it, if you can suck it up, if you can live with it, and still feel this in my heart is what I need to do for me, then you do it. And my sense is you have that conversation more honestly, more firmly, more finally around April or May of 2018. So hopefully that helps. Please check out local resources like Diane Bellicat, our friend to the show here. She runs the Separation Divorce Center in Ottawa. She's a great mediator. She has a lot of resources on her website, or anybody that you know in your world. Please just run the numbers, run the math, emotional math, physical numbers, to see if you'll actually be happy on the other end of it. The way I see it, the way it looks like you will be able to get through it, be happy on the other end within about 8 months of you leaving your husband. So if you can take the first half and be okay, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, the other end presents itself, but it's a journey. There is no easy divorce. There is no easy breakup. So my sense is there's going to be a journey of pebbles in the stone and the shoe, feeling like you're on a hike and you want to rest, but you can't, and keep climbing a mountain. So don't think this is going to be easy. Don't think you're going to change underwear and find a new person to make yourself happy. If you're prepared for that long hike and that long haul, knowing that at the end of it, you're happy, that you're free, and that your freedom is more important to you than all of that, then I think you'll be happy on the end. So hope that helped you, Laurie. Make sure you always send me a response, to this feed. Obviously, send me a personal message and let me know how that felt. So the next question we have today is Kate. Kate's from Toronto, originally from Ottawa. She is a graphic designer, yoga teacher, and book author. And Kate is constantly moving. Kate does not know where she belongs. Having many, many moves in many, many years, she's physically and financially exhausted. So she asked me, can you help out with me as far as why this is happening and where I should be? So this is a question Kate's asked me before, because Kate is a client of mine. So Kate knows this is my answer, and she's not going to like it because I haven't changed my answer in a very long time. I keep thinking, Kate, you have to come home. Home being Ottawa. And I'm not saying that home, Ottawa, is your energy home. It's home base. And I know that doesn't sound right to someone who's intuitive and sensitive. There feels like a completion required for you to come back to Ottawa to be taken care of. You had mentioned that your father had extended some sort of offering to you, but it was based where he lives here in Ottawa as well. My sense is it's a connection to the dad and the family, the broken family, that you have to come back to Ottawa for at least 1 year to sort of root, transplant and grow, and knowing that your physical body will get a lot healthier doing that, and knowing that frankly all the work you do, you can be doing this, yoga of course is physical in person, but certainly all the other work you can be doing can be going back and forth from Toronto. There are flights to Toronto, there are trains, there are Skype and Zoom calls. So I still feel home base is Ottawa. I still feel that you need to come to Ottawa to heal something regarding your familial relationships. It relates to man, money, and physical body and sexual creative energy, which is actually what your flow is all about. And then once you do that, that's when I see you can actually travel pretty much anywhere you want. So it's the one place you haven't wanted to come back to. And I know you love Ottawa, but you don't feel good here. Well, feeling good is not always, being spiritual is not always about feeling good. And sometimes you have to do the work, go through the crap, go through hell to get to heaven. So I'm sorry it's not the answer you wanted. And I know you're going to be like, man, Jen, you're probably throwing something at the screen right now. But I really do think the answer hasn't changed for me. It's you have to come home to Ottawa for a fixed period of time, no more than a year. Have your family love you back to health and support you. You have enough friends here that you're not totally alone. And Toronto is a 1 hour flight. I'm there all the time away. So, please, so please check out the option that your father is presenting you to come home to Ottawa to heal and to deal and to sort of settle down and see if there could be an exit strategy for you, that it's not necessarily a long-term commitment that he's expecting you. If he can handle a year-long expectation, then I suggest you seriously entertain his offer of you coming home for a bit and then building up your resources, physically, your body first and foremost, then your financial resources, and then looking at travel opportunities where you can sort of use your skills to earn your own way and really take off and fly. So again, I know it's not the answer you wanted, and happy to have you back if you come, but totally get that you're pissed off, and I hope you can create something else. In this moment, I don't see it. So, try someone else, shake that magic 8-ball and see what comes up, flip some angel cards, do your pendulum, see what else shows up. But in this moment, Ottawa's it. And I have to tell you the truth, even though you don't like it. So sorry about that, Kate, but I hope that helps in some way. Meditate on it. Really meditate on the offer that's being presented, because I think that's a gift from the universe. And as long as it can be temporary and that the relationship or the agreement doesn't allow you to be locked in forever, my sense is it's a good next step for you. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And again, sorry for being late today. And we're here every Tuesday. Short and sweet questioning answers, soulful solutions for everyday living. Hit me up here with your feedback. And if you have any questions for next week's show, please let me know via private messenger. Of course, jenniferclark.ca. You can find me in all the services I do, healing sessions, one-on-one consultations. This week, in fact, Thursday, December 14th is my last meditation evening for the year. It's Revelations is the subtopic. We're going to have some fun at year end as a group. And then on Thursday, December 21, doing our outdoor spirit fire. I'm so excited to be outdoors this winter on the solstice at Cosmic Storage, 4241 Barnsdale Road from 6:45 till about 8. Again, celebrating the solstice in a holy sacred fire. And then we're expecting about maybe 20 to 50 people, depends on the weather. It's always weather permitting, guys, so please don't show up if it's crappy weather. If you are questioning the weather, send me a private message and let me know. I'll try and send out a link to everyone about whether it's on or not. Right now, we're just doing it word of mouth because I don't want 100 people sort of deluging us. But it's an amazing experience. You'll see UFOs, you'll see animals and creatures in the fire. And it's a consecrated fire, so it's a holy fire. And it's going to be a fire that's going to be able to take your prayers to Creator and your wishes and your offerings. So a great opportunity to celebrate the solstice. It's free, family friendly. Check it out here with Jennifer Clark and Larry Bradbar from Cosmic Storage. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. We'll see you here every Tuesday here on Facebook Live. Peace.